Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you how I make zucchini muffins in my kitchen. I've already washed these zucchinis, but I am going to snip off the ends, and I have a lot more than I need for my recipe. So I'm going to shred all of these and put the rest that I won't use today in my freezer before they go bad. So I'm snipping off the ends. And then I'm going to I'm debating taking off the skins actually, but I will. I'm going to remove the skins, get it washed, shred it, and then turn it into muffins. So I have my vegetable peeler here. You can absolutely leave the skins on if you'd like. It's one less thing that you'd have to do. The skins will break down in the baking process, but I just know my family and I want them to enjoy this, so I'm going to remove the skins. So if you're looking for options that will add some nutrients to your family's diet, zucchini is a really good choice. It's very high in vitamin C, which supports our immune system, and it helps with collagen production. I know collagen is a hot topic these days, so zucchini helps with collagen production. So adding zucchini to your diet is a very good option for families. It has vitamin A, vitamin B6, as well as a lot of potassium as well. It also has manganese. So if you're looking for a way to boost your family's nutritional value when you're looking at the foods you're preparing, zucchini is a very good choice. So all of this will work really well if you have a compost bin or if you have a food mill recycler. This would be wonderful for that, or if you have backyard chickens. That was quick and easy. So now I have way more zucchini than I need for my recipe, but I have some that I can put off into the freezer for another meal. Alright guys, it's time to turn that zucchini that I shredded into some delicious muffins. I'm starting with 2 cups of soft white wheat, and I'm using typical ingredients you would in a muffin. I'm sharing a basic muffin recipe, and you can flavor that any way you like. You can use bananas, zucchini, carrots, whatever your family really enjoys. You can turn those into some delicious muffins. So let's do it. Alright, so I have my 2 cups of soft white wheat already already ground. I've also added some sugar for sweetening. In this case, I used brown sugar, but you could use granulated sugar if you'd like. I'm using terminato sugar, and it has larger granules than granulated sugar, and so it seems like I would use a lot, but it's actually less sweet than granulated sugar because the granules are bigger. I also added my 2 tablespoons of baking powder, my 1 tablespoon of baking soda. I added some ginger, a half a teaspoon of ginger. I also added some ground nutmeg and cinnamon to taste. I will put a full recipe down in the description box for you to be able to use and follow along. I'm also going to be adding 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, only because I'm just adding some nutrients to our meals when I can. I'm not using ground flaxseed as an egg replacer today, so I don't have to worry about blooming it. I can just add it to the dry ingredients. So now I'm just going to mix this all together. All right, I'm going to grab another bowl. In this bowl, I'm going to put all of my wet ingredients. I'm going to treat my zucchini as a wet ingredient, and I'm going to add 2 cups of my shredded zucchini. I'm going to cracking my 2 eggs. Remember, if you're not sure about your eggs, crack them in a separate bowl first. And then I'm going to add 1/3 of a cup of oil. You can use melted butter if you prefer. You can also add some vanilla extract here. I am waiting for my vanilla to mature, so I am doing without at this point. I'm also going to add a bit of water. Once I've combined these ingredients, I'm going to add water as needed, since my freshly milled flour may need a little bit more water on some days or a little less. Again, I will put a recipe in the description box for you that you can use as a guide as you make these muffins at home. All right, I'm going to combine these now. And then I'm going to get my water. My oven is currently preheating to 375, and then I will put my muffins in for about 7 to 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, I'm going to bring my oven temperature back down to 350 and finish off the baking process. I do that so that I can get a nice oven spring on my muffins. They'll be nice and tall, and even if they're not, that's okay. We're not going for perfection here, but the intention is to put them into a higher temperature oven, get that nice spring, and then you can pull the temperature back down to about 350 and let it bake the rest of the way. So this is a nice consistency. It's not too thin, not too thick, just exactly what I'm looking for. Best practice, especially when using freshly milled flour, is to make sure that your batter has time to hydrate. So while my batter hydrates, I'm going to clean up and get my muffin tins ready. Alright, I'm using these ceramic muffin tins, muffin pans, because this is what I prefer to use. I like to bake a lot with ceramic. It's just less toxic than most of the other things you'll find on the market. And then I'm putting in these reusable muffin liners. They work out really well for us as well. Alright, I'm going to get these into my oven. Alright, with the rest of my zucchini that I didn't use in today's recipe, I'm just going to put these in a freezer bag so I can freeze it flat and it won't take up too much space in my freezer. And here I have about another 2 cups, maybe 2.5 cups, so that's just enough for another batch of muffins, maybe next week. The great thing about that is that it's already shredded and I can just pull out this the night before or maybe a couple hours before I want to make something, and it will be ready to go. So just like that, I'm helping my future self get ready. Alright guys, I'm bringing you back. These zucchini muffins are finished. They are fresh out of the oven and they're very hot. So I just wanted to give you a quick peek at what's going on here. Again, I took some delicious zucchini and turned them into muffins. The base recipe will be in the description box. You can feel free to add whatever you'd like to that. I use zucchini here, but you could also add bananas, applesauce. You can add whatever flavorings you like. I did cinnamon, I did nutmeg, and some ginger here today. And you can change out the sweeteners as well. I use turbinado sugar, but if you wanted to use honey or maple syrup, if you wanted to use a mixture of granulated sugar and brown sugar, you can also do that. Additionally, I added some ground flaxseed just for added nutrition and flavor to these muffins. This also makes really great zucchini bread. So if you'd like to take this and turn it into zucchini bread, by all means you can do that. Put it in a loaf pan and you're going to give yourself some extra time in the oven. You can use the same trick at starting with a higher temperature, 375, 400, and then bring it down about 10 minutes into about 350 and then let it run for about 50 minutes in the oven, and then you'll be left with a delicious zucchini bread. So these are going to be had now for a breakfast for us, but they are absolutely delicious. And if you are interested in freshly milled flour, please let me know down in the description box down below. I do have a cookbook with over 100 recipes available on Amazon. Feel free to check it out. All the recipes are simply written and they can be easily followed. I also have a from scratch cooking cookbook as well if you're looking for any kind of recipes. These recipes are geared towards all-purpose flour, and so everything in here was written before we had fully switched over to using freshly milled flour. When we made the switch, I took many of the recipes and I transformed them and made them more adaptable for freshly milled flour. So feel free to check those out. They're on Amazon, and during Amazon Prime Week, you can get them at a discount. If you have any more questions about anything we've covered today, feel free to leave them down in the comment section down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.